hold up. You attended the Florence what?
Florence Academy of Art.
Yeah, back up a little bit. Tell us about that.
So my school here in Chicago had a special relationship with the Florence Academy of Art to where a senior or someone entering into their senior year could actually apply to be a part of their intensive drawing course for a trimester. And during my junior year, I had put a portfolio together of my best life drawings. And I ended up being accepted along with another student. So the two of us were accepted. And we learned how to draw, basically from life. What they do is they start you off with a long pose with the figure, and then during the other half of the day, you actually draw a cast drawing. You have either a cast drawing or a Bargue. You're creating a copy of a Charles Bargue drawing. So Charles Bargue, quick history lesson. Charles Bargue is considered one of the standards when it comes to drawing, and his drawings of casts are absolutely incredible. And he's the blueprint for how to draw accurately in a lot of ateliers. So
where is he from? What era is he from?
I can't remember where Charles Bargue is from. This is centuries back, actually.
Centuries back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just for the audience, we're talking about Florence and Florence, Italy. Okay. That's
Florence,
fun.
Italy, birthplace of the Renaissance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you first got there? I mean, coming from
it was an outer body experience. It was pretty surreal. I mean, I studied about this place and the history surrounding this place for most of my life, and then to end up there and to actually walk those same streets and to study in that same place, it was really.
Did you study where Michelangelo studied, or Da Vinci, or any of those guys?
No. They no. They studied. Actually, their studies were a little bit different because art was one thing, but also they studied philosophy. They studied multiple different things in addition to art, and a lot of what they studied in art and philosophy and religion, all of that bled into their work. So they were very brilliant, artists, and even though they were very young, they were very, very, very brilliant philosophers at a young age, and they were ahead of their time. So, but no. I wish I could have studied the same way they did. I would be a completely different artist, I think, if I did that. But
why would you say that?
Because they had nothing but time to create. They had nothing but time to perfect their craft. The only thing that stood in the way was when they were being flooded by other commissions. Michelangelo is one example of that, where while over the course of the time where he was supposed to do the tomb of Pope Julius, he was interrupted by other commissions that happened, so much so that Pope Julius ended up dying. And he didn't get to actually do the tomb until about 40 years later. And it was only a shell of what the original concept was. They had, dozens of figures planned out, and it had to be reduced to something that was much more manageable for Michelangelo, especially as he was getting older. So, they had nothing but time. And for us, artists, a lot of artists are not well paid. We don't all have patrons. We don't have people financially backing us. So a lot of us have to do other things in order to finance that primary thing, whether it's, a 9-to-5, whether it's Uber driving, whether it's, taking on, a series of different gigs, that we might necessarily we might not want to do, but it helps, finance what we really want to do. So they weren't interrupted by, life. And, life being expensive and the struggles that have come in the modern age,
Making art is not cheap.
It is not cheap at all. It costs you, and not just monetarily. And if you really, really want to do this thing, I mean, it costs sometimes friendships. It costs, being able to go and have fun and being able to, and that's only if you're really, truly dedicated to the craft and want to get to a certain place, on a success level, whatever success looks like to an individual. It's very costly.